Hey guys, Andrew McFarland here from StartAJuiceBar.com. Hope you guys are happy and healthy, inspired to launch your business or grow your existing business. Today, we're talking about doing festivals and other large-scale events, okay? Why this is a big risk and why you may not want to do it. But before we dive in, if you guys don't know who I am, you're new to the channel, you don't know what we do, over the last decade, myself and our company has had the pleasure of running our own juice concepts, as well as supporting hundreds of people all over the world launch and scale successful juice bars, smoothie bars, healthy cafes, acai bowl businesses, you name it, we've done it. All the information on this channel is coming from this wealth of experience. Early invitation, press the like button, subscribe to the channel. I promise if you do something very, very special will happen. Hit the notification bell so that you get alerted whenever we release new videos. And without further ado, let's dive in. So you're in a situation, you got your juice business, you're just getting started, or you're thinking like, hey, I want to do farmers markets, I want to do festivals. These two things do exist in different categories, okay? But I want to talk about some of the risks and things that you want to be aware of if you are going to take this approach. I remember many years back, I was speaking to a fellow, I started my business, if you guys don't know, with a juice truck. I was speaking to someone else, and they had a model that was similar, but their whole thing was just focused on doing events. And they served like vegan food, so they were sort of like a food juice truck, all healthy food options. But they just went around and did like a few festivals a year, and they would make a lot of money doing this. But because they weren't running their business constantly, they basically would, kind of have a big windfall. They'd use that money to live on, put it back into the business, and then they'd have another event that comes up every, 2 weeks to a month, and they'd travel around, do these festivals. And I was sharing with her, I said, this is not a bad business because you're making money, but in business, something that people don't think about is the defensiveness and the vulnerability of your strategy. Okay, so let's just put it this way. You've got two businesses. They're each making $100,000 a month. Are these businesses the same? No. They're very different depending on how they make that $100,000. If you are a business, let's just say you do online only sales, okay? And you're making 100 grand a month, and then there's another business that's a storefront and they're making 100 grand a month. Who's more vulnerable? The business that's making the sales online only. Why? Because the barrier to entry for competitors, for people who are doing things online only, is very different than trying to get into a storefront. A storefront can facilitate different kinds of experience. It can do sales online. It can do delivery, but it also can do things that this business can't do, right? So it's more resilient. So the way you make your money is sometimes equally or more important than the amount of money that you make. So that's what I want to point out here with doing festivals. I do think festivals can be great. So I don't want to tell you guys, don't ever do a festival. I just want to caution you to think about certain things when it comes to large scale events. So what are some of the benefits of doing festivals and large scale events? If there's going to be a lot of people there, you can make a lot of money. We've done this. We've done events. We've done events yearly that we go to and we make lots of money at these events. But at the same time, there are also risks, okay? If you have a storefront, you have less risk if you do an event, because if you go to do an event, let's just say, for example, you believe, okay, we're going to sell $5,000 worth of product. So you prepare all this product to go sell at this event. You do your orders, you have your labor there, you have your people ready to go, and you do half that. Well, guess what? You can take some of that product, bring it back to your store, and then resell it at your store the next day. Cut your labor back and find a way to absorb that cost. If you don't have a storefront and all you do is festivals, or maybe you do farmers market and your next farmers market's going to be a week down the road, and you don't sell that $5,000, guess what? You're going to have loss. You're going to have a lot more loss because you can't just sell your product somewhere else. You're going to have to store it. A lot of it's going to go bad because you overshot your projection. And the reason that you might not do that $5,000 might not be fully because of things that you could control. That's the thing with festivals. It's sort of like going to Vegas. It's a big risk. You can win big, you can lose big, right? You might be in a situation where the vendor that's hosting the festival puts you at a place where there's no people. Usually, if it's a well-organized festival, they actually have maps, and then you pay for specific tables in specific areas, right? So that you pay more for places where there's more traffic and there's going to be more visibility. That's just the nature of it. But if for whatever reason you end up in a situation where you aren't that visible and you didn't know because you didn't see the venue, you didn't check it out, you didn't know where people are going to congregate, now you thought you were going to sell more than you did and you overshot it, right? The other issue is the case too. You could undershoot it, right? You thought you were going to sell 2,000 and there was like $10,000 worth of demand and you couldn't keep up with it. And so you missed that opportunity. Now, that's not the worst thing in the world. If you overproduce, it's actually much worse. What are other scenarios you can think about? Weather, okay? Is the weather going to be good? Are you outside? Power. What happens if something happens at the festival and there's generators that break down, or you're not getting power because you need power? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I don't know, depending on if you're going to prepare things on site or not. But there are all these other elements a lot of times people don't think about that create risk and vulnerability when you're doing a festival. And the last big one too is the promoters of the festival. What's the likelihood that they get the kind of people there that they're thinking? Because festival producers and promoters can be notorious for overselling the festival. They have to get you there because they got to put you on the promotion. Hey, we're going to have XYZ juice bar as part of the way that they're marketing it. And they got to say, oh yeah, we're going to have 5,000, 10,000 people at this festival. They don't know that, especially if it's their first year. If this is an event that's been going on for years, then you can confirm the numbers a little bit more. You might know it. But if it's a first year event, even more risk. And in a lot of these situations too, it's not free. They will charge you for a booth or a table or a kiosk or however you're delivering your product. So you have to think about that. What's the risk? And how are they structuring the payments as well? Sometimes they might take a percentage of tickets. So you really have to do the math and think, okay, best case scenario, how will we do? Worst case scenario, if we don't do that well, what's our risk in this situation? This is what being a wise and mature business owner is all about. Assessing risk and reward. And a lot of times as new entrepreneurs, we're very bad at this because we really don't know the things that we don't know, and we also don't know what our upside potential is as well. So I just wanted to give you guys a realistic understanding of why festivals can be great, because they can be great, right? Like I said in the beginning, I'm not telling you not to do them. I've done them, I like them, if you approach them well and the finances make sense and you're doing your due diligence and you're doing your research and really assessing the probability and how to prepare for those things. So hope this has been helpful. If you guys need support with any aspect of your business, we have a full spectrum development firm. Reach out to me at Andrew@StartAJuiceBar.com. I'd be happy to speak to you. I don't bite, so reach out and I can talk to you about how we can support you with your business. Last few announcements. If you haven't liked the video yet and you're still here, you definitely like the video, so you might as well just press the like button. It's free, it's easy, and it inspires us to make more content. It also helps the world get healthier because you're going to be helping empowering people in your community. And subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Lastly, follow us on Instagram at StartAJuiceBar. And if you like podcasts, we have a podcast on iTunes and on Spotify. The Juice Bar Experts podcast, easy to find. This is Andrew McFarland with StartAJuiceBar.com. Hope you guys are doing well. I'll see you at the next video. Take care. Hope you guys have been enjoying the video content. If you're inspired to learn even more about how to start your juice business from scratch, for you, we have a free ebook. It's called the 15 Steps to Starting Your Juice Business. And this is going to go through a high-level overview, through a step-by-step process on how you get your business off the ground. Everything from, branding, menu development, finding the right location, and more. This is going to be a clear roadmap so you know how to go from where you are all the way to opening your store. If you want to go even deeper, we've also created an online course. It's called the Juice Bar Master Blueprint. This is going to go into great depth on everything from how do you put together and think about recipe development? How do you cost out your menu and what's the math around it? What equipment do you need? How do you design your store? How do you find the right location? And so much more. I know you're going to find a lot of value out of both of these. There's links in the description below. So I hope to see you guys at the next video and enjoy.